of anticipation surrounding Big Ramy, the beast from the East. And Bob Ciccarello brings him out, and they call him Big Ramy for a very obvious reason. He is a massive bodybuilder with extreme proportions, massive quad sweep, insane shoulder to shoulder, and he's got it all. I mean, this is a guy who is just loaded with muscle on top of muscle. The bodybuilding world has been waiting for him to put it together. And Sean, I'm going to let you break down what appears to be the most well-conditioned Big Ramy we've ever seen.
He showed up here at 305. To see him now at 295, he definitely dropped some water. Came all the way from Dubai. It's a very long trip. Training with the Camel crew out there at the Oxygen gyms under Bader Budai, working with the legendary trainer Chris Cormier. The thighs are world class. They are huge. He wound up getting here. He won the Kuwaiti Pro Championships, and in doing so, he beat Dexter Jackson and Sean Roden. However, he didn't beat them here last year.
All right, now let's break this thing down. This is an impressive Big Ramy. He was fourth here a year ago. I think he's poised to move up the way he's looking. We're going to see how he compares. Criticize this physique for me. Tell me what's wrong with it.
Well, I mean, the glaring weakness is the calves, obviously. He did tear his hamstring a year ago, so I know that he's lightened up on the hamstring work. You got to be afraid to do that again. So I know he moved very cautiously because his quads are so dominant, so powerful, and those hamstrings are a little bit more delicate and fragile. The upper back and the shoulders and the arms, they're all there. You can see that. The lower back still needs a little bit of work, but it's coming.
Is this the best Big Ramy we've seen?
I'm going to reserve that till I see him standing next to the other guys. Right now, I've seen Ramy in person competing in several different competitions. Ramy's a very dangerous bodybuilder. Again, the only person he didn't beat last year was the reigning champion, and that was Phil Heath. He beat everyone else. And of course, Dexter Jackson beat everyone else, and Sean Roden had a little bite at the apple. So this is going to be one of those things where we got to see them standing next to each other. But right now, Ramy is representing, and when I say big, you got to be out there standing next to this guy. He casts a very big shadow.
At the very least, this is the most confident Big Ramy we've ever seen. This is a different stage presence than we saw from the far more timid bodybuilder that graced the stage when he was first coming up. So this is a guy who's starting to feel it. He knows what this process is all about. He's getting some swagger, and quite frankly, he has earned it as he...
Reigning and defending Olympia champion, the Gift, Phil Heath.
Sean, 11 years ago, at your event in Colorado at the Sean Ray Classic, a young man named Phil Heath, who was competing in his hometown that night, made his professional debut. He wowed the crowd. It was a victorious debut. He won a week later in New York, and so began one of the most illustrious careers this sport has ever known. He has since gone on to win the Olympia 6 times, and tonight he's gunning for number 7. He and his trainer, Hani Rambod, have put in the work. They devised a plan, so I'm going to let you, Sean Ray, be the first here in 2017 to assess this version of Phil Heath.
It was a long time ago, Dan. Phil has done many things in those 11 years with what he has to work with. And mind you, he didn't wake up and become Mr. Olympia overnight. He put in the work. He won that junior national title, wound up coming up winning the USA's right here in Las Vegas. And he's plotted his way. I believe he started off in the Mr. Olympia, not as Mr. Olympia. He was 4th place, worked his way up to first runner-up behind Jay Cutler, and ultimately grabbed the title. And here he is. And so far, I got no complaints. And again, from the back, this is where these shows are won and lost. Those hamstrings, that back, I haven't seen anybody matching him in this.
Yeah, it really is a winning formula. It's just a level of dimension that most guys just really in the history of the sport haven't been able to bring to the stage. It is eye-popping, jaw-dropping muscle as Phil Heath gets the crowd behind him, and it's really fun watching Phil sort of evolve as a professional. The way he takes the stage, the way he commands the stage, he hits his shots. He knows what he's here to do. This is very much a workmanlike business trip for Phil Heath, and he's here to continue his reign atop the sport. But make no mistake about it, each year it's a different look for Phil.
Olympia champion, Phil Heath.
All right, we're going to go ahead and throw it to Carla Sanchez, who's with our classic physique champion.